losing our coral at an alarming rate, and now is more crucial than ever to act. 87,500,000. That's how many fish will lose their homes if our coral dies. For comparison, Turkey's population is a similar number. Imagine everyone in Turkey losing their home. Isn't that a horrible thought? Coral reefs are usually referred to as the rainforests of the sea, and if they are destroyed, fish and other marine animals would lose vital food, shelter, and breeding grounds, and biodiversity would suffer significantly as a result. A coral reef is something we all know and love, and although reefs are beautiful and provide opportunities for activities like snorkeling and diving, they actually play a greater role than that. They protect coastlines from storms and erosion, provide jobs for local communities, and are even one of the main sources of nitrogen and other essential nutrients for marine food chains. They are also a source of food and new medicines. Did you know coral reefs produce half of Earth's oxygen and absorb roughly 1/3 of the carbon dioxide produced by burning fossil fuels? They support the livelihoods of over 500 million people. Pollution, declining water quality, overfishing, unsustainable coastal development, destructive fishing practices, mining corals, and collecting live corals for the aquarium market. These are just a few of the many ways we harm reefs all around the world every single day. But worst of all, the primary cause of coral death is our warming climate. Coral gains its radiant color from zoanthiles. The zoanthiles then produce pigment, and because they reside in the clear tissue of the polyp, the corals get their beautiful colors. Changes in temperatures stress corals, forcing them to expel their zoanthiles and turn entirely white. This is also known as bleaching. We first began losing our corals due to bleachings in 1998 and 2010, which was when the El Niño caused the ocean temperatures to rise and worsened the corals' living condition. Since then, the situation has declined drastically, and we have lost more than half the corals that thrived 40 years ago. Everyone assumes it's straightforward to come up with a quest idea because you have so much freedom, but for me, it was the opposite. I struggled to come up with a quest idea because I'm passionate about a lot of things and couldn't decide on what to do. In late January, I was planning to screen a film to a local community to educate them about the plastic problem, but I was very unsure about it. I wanted to do more. I felt as though this wasn't enough. We had school holidays about a month later, and my dad and I decided to go diving as usual. I used to be afraid of the water as a child because when I was 5 years old, a Singaporean bus driver decided to play the movie Jaws on the way to school. But diving has shown me the genuine beauty of the ocean and that it isn't quite as dangerous as I once thought. As we descended into the deep blue waters, I was shocked because I had been diving in the exact same place about 2 years ago, and most of the coral had either died off or was bleached. It disheartened me to see this happen, and at that moment, 18 meters below the surface, I realized what I wanted my quest to be: coral restoration. For my quest, I decided to partner up with a coral restoration organization already in progress. While searching for an organization, I discovered the Coral Triangle Center. The Coral Triangle Center is a non-for-profit organization whose mission is to promote the marine biodiversity and the sustainable management across the Coral Triangle. I initially emailed the Coral Triangle asking whether they needed any assistance at the moment. And then a few days later, I got in contact with a lady named Siwi. After the call, I really found out about the Coral Triangle's mission and how I could benefit their organization. Did you know the Coral Triangle is a marine area located in the Western Pacific Ocean? And although this area only covers 1% of the Earth's surface, it contains 75% of the world's species of corals and over 2,000 species of fish. Then, after much thought and consideration, I decided to combine my previous quest idea with something I was really passionate about: I intended to hold a movie screening of Pull Out Plastic, and all the funds would go to the Coral Triangle Center. Pull Out Plastic, translates to Plastic Island, is an Indonesian film about the plastic epidemic and how it affects our daily lives here in Indonesia. Then, after a lot of planning, working, cooking, I held my movie screening on the 20th of May, and through selling tickets, food, and drinks, we raised over 4 million rupiah. The following week, I contacted the Coral Triangle again to inquire about going over to their center in Nusa Penida. Unfortunately, their team had left to do another project on another island in Indonesia called Ambon, so I decided to head over to their second center in Sanur. I'm so grateful I had an opportunity to work on a quest project, and I'm so grateful I chose this topic. I've learned so much about the coral issue, and I hope you have too. Now, how can you help in the preservation of our coral? You can head over to the Coral Triangle's website, and it's only 300,000 to sponsor a coral. Use reef-safe sunscreen brands like Super Scoop, etc., or even make your own. Avoid touching, kicking, or stepping on corals. This could harm or damage them. And definitely make sure to dispose of your waste properly. There are millions of other ways you can help out, but every positive action you take makes a difference. I would like to thank all my teachers, especially Ibu Angie, Ibu Laura, and Pak Dan, all my friends, Fere, my parents, and my sister, and all of you for being here today, everyone who made Quest possible. Thank you.